Hello, good people. My name is Linda Muthoni Maina, and I'm back again. Yay! I'm actually excited because I'm following up on what I said I will do. Anyway, I'm here. First of all, I hope you watched my last video. In it, I was speaking about trusting in God. I said it was supposed to be food for thought. So I really hope you contemplated on it and you are applying it, because that's the only way it can make impact. And if you have not watched the video, kindly visit my socials. I mostly go as Linda Miner, and that is on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and even on YouTube. So kindly visit Linda Miner and watch, and hopefully you get inspired. So today I will speak about the practice of decision making, and this is inspired by Emma Grade's podcast. It goes by the name Aspire. In this particular episode, Emma Grade was interviewing her husband, James Grade, and they were speaking about companies and everything about business. And among the many points they spoke about is the practice of decision making. And Emma Grade was saying that one of her favorite quotes from her husband is a quote that she says, it goes this way: make a decision and move on with it. Like, make a decision and run with it. I might not explain it exactly how they said, but I will say what I learned from this point. And so what I learned and what my urge is for today, and what my point is for us to aspire to make decisions and move on. And actually, Jens was saying that one reason why some companies fail, and I think this applies to even individuals, one reason that leads to failure is the inability to make decisions. Like, we have an issue on the table, but instead of deciding about it, instead of deciding whether it's a yes or a no, or maybe, or as to whether it should do it, we are just there. We are just worried about the issue itself. We are not looking for solutions regarding the issue. We are just there wondering, how will the outcome be? What will people think? What will people say? What if I fail? And do you know what happens from not making a particular decision, especially the important decisions? You are left with what ifs, you are left with regrets, you are left with stagnancy, whereby things are never moving forward, or we find ourselves in the same negative cycle simply because you cannot make important decisions. And so James was saying we should aspire to make decisions, no matter how uncomfortable, no matter how small, how hard, how challenging the decision is. Please make that decision. And while at it, make sure that a couple of the decisions that you make are good. Make sure you make a couple of good decisions, even as you make bad decisions, because bad decisions are inevitable. And from making decisions, the outcome is usually a success. You might actually be astounded by the success that comes from a decision that you make. And if it's not success, we don't call it failure nowadays. We call it a lesson. You learn a lesson from that decision, and then the next time you will learn from the lesson and you will improve. You will be able to make a better decision. So let's aspire to make decisions. May we not live lives, or may we not end up with lives filled with regrets, filled with what ifs. May we not live lives of procrastination simply because we could not make decisions. And I will give a silly personal example, for lack of a better word. For me, I am a light sleeper, and I mostly sleep well at night. I'm not a daytime napper or sleeper, so I have to get a good night's sleep. I have to get at least my 8 hours of sleep. If I don't, I know that the next day will probably be unproductive. It will be just there. But unfortunately, sometimes I won't be able to sleep as well at night. And then the next day, I'll be just there. I don't know whether it's a mindset thing or it's just the way I'm wired. The next day, after not sleeping well, I'll be just there. I'll be moody. I'll be complaining of how I did not sleep well. I will be complaining of how tired I am. I will be talking of how unproductive I feel. But in such days, I normally have choices. I normally have the choice of either deciding to rest for that day. I normally have the choice of maybe napping for 2 hours and then I can get on to doing what's supposed to be done. And I normally have the choice of just not resting or napping and getting on with things, and then I will sleep well at night. But sometimes I won't make any of those. I won't make any of those decisions. I won't pick any of those choices. I'll just sit there, stagnant, tired, complaining, and then the day will end. And when the day ends, I find that I'm still tired. I have been unproductive. I did not get to rest. The day ends just like that. And maybe if I had made a decision of maybe whether to rest or to take a nap or to go on and be productive, the day would have ended on a better note. I would have felt better of myself. So I hope my example makes sense. But my point is this: let's aspire to make decisions, and while at it, may a couple of those decisions be good decisions. And then from these decisions, we will either be successful or we will either learn. And with learning comes experience, and with experience comes success. Let's aspire to make decisions, and may we not end up with what ifs, with regrets, with procrastinations. May we make those decisions. So this is something for you to contemplate on. Until next time.